Hi everybody. Such a beautiful day today in California. Finally we're getting a little warm weather. But anyway, last week we talked about, in my newsletter, we talked about when you feel a little bit blah and you don't want to get out in your studio. And then when you do feel like getting out there, it may take a while to get momentum back because you haven't been working. And that is not the time to go and try to do a masterpiece. So what my go-to is to make collage papers, which is what I did yesterday. And I used printer paper, just white printer paper. And I made a lot of marks and scribbles, and I used a lot of my paint pens, my Sharpie paint pens, my Posca paint pens, thin ones, thick ones. And I just had so much fun just going ahead and scribbling around, doing different marks, some squares, some even just stripes. I did charcoal. I have a selection of charcoal here, and I used charcoal for some of them, and then of course I sprayed it with Camar, which is a good varnish that will keep it from rubbing off. So don't forget to spray it if you use charcoal. I have a assortment of charcoal here, but my favorite is the big block of charcoal that I got off the beach from somebody burning a campfire. And then this is a nice large, also extra large chunk of charcoal. And I think I got it at Amazon, but it's extra large charcoal is what it says. And it's a wonderful piece to make thick marks. I have these gray charcoal pieces, and I don't love them. They're kind of light, so really it's almost just like pencil. So I don't use that much. But these vine charcoal pieces are kind of neat. They're soft and they're a little bit thicker. So yeah, those are all my charcoal pieces. So anyway, I just went crazy with this and I had so much fun, and so I already am feeling like I'm getting into the groove, you know, and kind of making my way. I wrote some ABCs. I find it difficult to find large enough black text, and I love black text. I pulled out this from a magazine, but to me that isn't even large enough for me. So, and if I want to go large on large canvas, I want really, really large text. So I thought I'd make it myself and did some kind of ABC writing like that. Now I don't know what I'm going to do with these. I just know that when I get ready to collage, I want to have a lot of material. So I spent the morning doing this, and this was charcoal. This was charcoal. Did some fingerprints. Rubbed the charcoal here and then fingerprint here. So that's kind of my number one go-to. I start this way. And then my second thing that if I'm not quite ready to paint yet, which I'm not, I will experiment and explore some of my colors. And I pulled out these. I wanted to do oranges and pinks and yellow. And so I pulled out, and black and white, of course. And so I pulled these out, and I thought I would mix around and play around with these and see what kind of a palette I could come up with. So between those two things, I can usually get kind of excited about something. My third option, after doing collage papers, experimenting with some paint colors and playing around. My third go-to is to either lay out or tape off a series of paper, like maybe 6, even 3 would be good. 3, 6, maybe 9 pieces of small paper, and play around in a series of small sheets of paper, and just play around with your palette that you decide on, which I haven't decided on one yet, but I'm going to play around with these colors and see what I can come up with, if I can come up with something fun that is unlike anything else that I've done. I like to, play around with something that's unique, that's different, and I have not played around with these colors yet. I've got my white. I've got an old gesso, cheap gesso here. That I'll use that for my white, and then black. But this parchment color, I'm going to try to mix that with some of these too, and see what you can kind of come up with a fun, something a little bit different, because it's not white. So that's kind of fun for me. And then I plan to record maybe the best combinations and choose from this a color palette that I think I want to use in the work, that contains light, medium, and dark colors, the 3 values. So once I lay that out and record it here in a sketchbook, then maybe I'm ready to try out a series with some small paper pieces, and again, just playing around with the palette. And so at that point, by the time you do this in succession like that, you should be pretty ready to make something that you're pleased with. But to just start out cold is suicide. You don't want to do that. Well, you can, but you don't want to. It's not good. It's not good for us. So anyway, I've got my orange. It's a CAD Orange Nova. And then I've got these other cheaper paints that I like to use sometimes. And I'm just going to see where it goes. I think this yellow is really fun. It's Yellow Ochre Deep. And I'm going to see what it does with, if I can make like a neutral with this and one of these. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. But this is, to me, far more fun than traditional color theory. Because what I know to be true and what works for me in a painting is it doesn't matter what colors, as long as you have your light, medium, and dark values. So you could put any crazy color together that you want. It's very freeing. However, what I've got here is a little bit, it harmonizes because the colors are close together on the color wheel. Your pinks, pink, red, orange, yellow, it's kind of close together there. So, let's see. What will this do together? It's kind of an orange. It's kind of a muted. So let's see what happens when you put black with it to darken it. Makes kind of a nice muddy color that I think would be really pretty against some of these brighter colors. Right? That is so nice. I like to always try to get in not just the light, medium, and dark, but a neutral. Even this color against the neutral is really pretty. Let's see what the parchment will do to lighten. Haven't even used my orange yet. Let's see what that will do. That's a beautiful creamy peach color, which could serve as your light. And then this magenta, that's even, is that color? Yeah, that's that color. This is this color. Okay. Let's see what black will do with this magenta. So there's another really nice dark. And this neon pink, which is this one here, let's see what that will look like with the parchment. Oh, wow. That's a really pretty blush color. So do you see how exciting it can be to just play around with your colors, play around with marks? So out of these, I will choose, out of all of this, I will choose just a few. I'll choose a light, a medium, a dark, and a neutral. And then I will record it in the sketchbook so that I can have a reference for later when I'm out of, when I'm not thinking and I want to think about a palette and I don't want to do this. Maybe I'll flip back through my sketchbooks and look at the palettes that I've created. So I can already feel that I'm ready to go. I'm back in the studio. I'm raring to go. And this is just enough to get my juices flowing. So I hope that is helpful for you today, and I hope that you will get into your studio and get your juices flowing too.